Hi, I'm Jeremy Funkhouser. I'm the director of the pharmacy department here at Washington Hospital. Wanted to address some common things that people, patients or family members bring up about vaccine hesitancy today. Operation Warp Speed actually really helped the vaccine approval process in that it reduced the barriers for vaccine development. So, companies typically have a significant financial risk as they're developing vaccines because they're not sure if they're going to be able to bring it to market. Putting money in their pockets, guaranteed money in their pockets, allowed them to have that lifted from them so they could really just focus on coordinating efforts and trying to be as efficient as possible in bringing a successful vaccine to market. So it went through all the typical phase clinical trials. One thing that really led to it being able to be developed so quickly and be available to us was the fact that the technology of mRNA, you see that the mRNA vaccine was the one who kind of was first available to us, the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines. They almost have a plug-and-play approach. Once that gene sequence is known for whatever protein they're looking for, they can really develop that vaccine rather quickly. So to be honest, the development of the vaccine, which sometimes takes years, really happened very quickly, probably less than a month, just because we had that available technology to us. And the gene sequence was available. Soon after China recognized this new virus, they actually gave that gene sequence to everyone around the world so that we could try and rapidly develop a vaccine. Sometimes it takes a lot of time for the FDA to review everything in between phases. So a typical vaccine comes through phase 1, where there's a limited number of healthy volunteers, phase 2 and 3, which sometimes can be combined. They usually have dose ranging studies, and then the phase 3 is where they're actually looking for efficacy and safety in a large population of patients. The FDA removed the barriers to doing some of that and allowed people to do some of those things in parallel. That can take sometimes a couple of years for a successful vaccine trial. It's compressed because of them removing those barriers. But every step in the way still required a submission to the FDA for evaluating efficacy and safety of those vaccines. So they were conducted just as normal, they just compressed them. A concern that's been brought to me has been, this is mRNA, what does that mean? How many years do we really have of using that technology? To be honest, mRNA has been in development and has been used as a potential option for delivering vaccines or creating vaccines for over 30 years. What has changed actually is the ability to get that vaccine product to our cells. So one of the things that's changed is the lipid nanosphere that all of these things are suspended in, that made that mRNA the ability to deliver it to the cells to make those little spike proteins that we're creating antibodies to. That has honestly just happened in the past 5 years. And so in the past 5 to 10 years, we've had a lot of vaccines that have been successfully started in clinical trials that are mRNA. So it's really just chance that we had the need for it. But a lot of companies have been developing this technology over time. Yeah, I would absolutely. I got it right away when I was eligible to receive the vaccine, and would highly recommend it to family members, given the pandemic and given the opportunity to get out of this state that we're currently in. It's safe, effective. I think it really speaks to the fact that mRNA vaccines are highly effective. We have real-world data already, from the millions of people who have already been vaccinated, showing that it's safe, effective, and helps reduce the burden of disease.